Joining us now on USHL In Focus is head coach of the Sioux City Musketeers, Jason Kersner. Jason joins us after his squad picked up a best-of-5 series win over Lincoln and made what some people would characterize as relatively quick work of Lincoln, but winning it in the minimum 3 games. But I think, Jason, you and your squad would probably agree, given how each game went, that it was anything but quick work, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were able to win all 3, but it was a competitive series. We had played Lincoln quite a bit down the stretch, and we had found them to be playing as well as anybody. They were in kind of playoff mode for a bit, having to win games down the stretch to clinch a playoff spot, and then they went on the road against a really good team in Waterloo and swept them on the road. So we were concerned coming in just how hard and how competitive Lincoln was playing down the stretch. And they were a young team that got so much better throughout the season. And we played them 6 times in the regular season. We had won all 3 at home, but we had lost all 3 in their rink. They have a hostile environment there. They play a hard, tight checking game, and it's hard to play offense and you get to the interior against them, especially on the road. And so we were just really, the way the series worked, we started games 1 and 2 on the road, and we're going to come home for games 3, 4, and 5. So for us to be able to walk out of there with 2 road wins, our first ones of the season in the Icebox, was obviously significant and set us up for success.
Yeah, one of the old questions that folks in your situation face is the rest versus rust question. And Lincoln, some would say, had an advantage of sort of being in playoff mode because of your second place finish in the Western Conference. You had that first round bye, Jason. How did you guys prepare for the series against Lincoln?
Yeah, I mean, the good part there was, like you said, we were able to get a little rest, which was good for us. But like I said, we had played them 3, I think, out of our last 4 regular season games. So we were just kind of at a point where the waters run deep. We had some familiarity. We knew each other well. So it certainly was we were playing chess, not checkers, in that series. When you have 2 teams that know each other that much and have that kind of depth to the relationship. So we didn't need a ton of necessarily, practice time or video meetings. We had just played them. So it was more about, like you said, just we wanted to use the rest as an advantage for us. And but yeah, we were, like I said, certainly concerned. We thought game 1 would probably be the toughest game of the series because we were going to have to adjust to our first playoff game. And man, they had just played 2 excellent road games to beat Waterloo. But again, we were just appreciative of the fact that we were able to get on the road and win 2 games to kind of disrupt the flow of what they wanted to do. It was significant and it was impressive. I thought the 2 road games were very well played by our group.
3-2 and 3-1 in Lincoln. Then you come back and picked up that last game in overtime, a victory 3-2, and it was your veteran defenseman Ty Hansen who had just a great year for you with the game winner.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, back to some of the advantage of being able to finish in second. I think the attrition component was real. That was a lot for Lincoln. To play they had played us in the last week in the regular season, Friday, Saturday. Had to go on the road to win Monday, Tuesday, and then play 2 home games against us and turn around bucks back here. So we felt like we would have an energy advantage. It's one thing to have that; it's another thing to use it. And again, I thought our guys. I was just proud of the collective as to how we're able to divide the labor and utilize the talents of everybody. And yeah, I mean, Ty Hansen, you're right. He had an unbelievable season. He's our captain. He's kind of the lifeblood of our team, and for him to be able to get the walk-off winner at home was significant. And significant players find a way to rise up and make big-time plays and big-time moments, and that was a prime example.
Absolutely. And then, of course, people talk about the importance of goaltending in the postseason. Samuel Urban was outstanding in this series against the Lincoln Stars as well.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if we didn't mention their goalie, Shostak, who was unbelievable first in the series against Waterloo. And made it tough on us. We felt like we had some really good looks throughout the series, and he was the central component of it as well. But yes, and then Sam was off and played all 3 games, and when we made mistakes, so they were able to make plays to get through us. numbers will look good at the end of the 3 games. And obviously he's a big part of our success.
Yeah, and then of course some guys during the regular season also contributing in the postseason with Caden Shahan, obviously Brian Nicholas, and then you had an addition here late in the season with Hagen Burrows joining you after the conclusion of the Minnesota State High School League season, and he's provided some offensive punch for you as well.
Yeah, that's been, again, kind of a little bit of a central component of the success of our team this year has been, you know, our ability to get contributions from, you know, 4 lines, all the D, 2 goalies throughout the year. So, you know, that's, I think if you want to have success at this time of the year, you need that kind of depth to your roster. And yeah, we've had an inclusive mindset for all of the people that are available to us. And yeah, the names you mentioned, you look up and down our roster, we've had a lot of balance in our scoring. Obviously, we've had got, you know, Brian Nicholas and King Chanson, the names that you mentioned that you know, get the top of the roster as it relates to their points. But you know, we've been able to, I would say at some point during the season, every single player on our roster has been significant in winning us a game throughout the year. And I think that's what leads to team success at this time of year. You can't be relying on one guy. You need everybody to step up, and we had a lot of balance in the scoring throughout this series so far.
Yep. So Jason, at this point in the season, where you've already qualified for the Western Conference championship round, you turn your lonely eyes toward Fargo and Tri-City, and of course those 2 teams square off here Wednesday night in Game 3. And that's how closely are you and your staff keeping track of what's going on with that series?
Yeah, we'll be watching. You know, like it's again, you hope, we already talked about this. You know, you're trying to balance the work and the rest, and those were 3 hard fought games. So we'll definitely have a couple off days here for the guys and let them kind of treat any injuries and those kind of things. We will need every last ounce of energy to beat one of those 2 teams in the Western Conference Final. So, and yeah, it will give us an opportunity. We haven't played either of those teams, you know, at quite as much or certainly as recently as we had with Lincoln. So it will give our staff an opportunity to watch some games and try to prepare. And those are 2 unbelievably coached teams and teams that can attack you in different ways. And whoever we play, it's going to be a significant challenge for us. So we will definitely be paying quite a bit of attention for however long the rest of that series goes.
All right, Jason, thanks very much. Appreciate you joining us today. Best of luck whoever your opponent is here in the next round. Look forward to watching the Musketeers in the Western Conference championship round. Okay.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Thanks, Jason.